This is Connect by 3 News.
And a very good hello again and welcome to 3 News Connect, reporting from our homes. I'm Jay Crawford along with Monica Robbins, hoping you made the most of your weekend. Monica, hello, good to see you again.
Good to see you, Jay. Yeah, we are both coming to you live from our homes in an effort to follow those guidelines of sheltering at home. And we want to start with the latest developments regarding COVID-19. In New York, the number of deaths and hospitalizations have dipped slightly, but Governor Andrew Cuomo says it is too soon to determine if the state has hit its peak. Overseas, British Prime Minister Boris Johnson was admitted to the hospital on Sunday. A spokesperson said he had a comfortable night and is in good spirits. And right now, only 9 states have not issued stay-at-home orders. Also, in order to help get us all through this time, it is very important to remember to follow those rules. And today, some changes are going into effect. Now, as you know, the stay-at-home order has been extended until May 1st. The initial order would have expired today. Other mandated changes: stores must now limit the number of people inside. If you're coming to Ohio from another state, you are being asked to self-quarantine for 14 days. Campgrounds and public pools must also close, and weddings, they're still on, except receptions should be kept to fewer than 10 people, and no sports or day camps. No big surprise there. We also keep sharing information for you, and we keep sharing those numbers. And the reality of this situation is because these numbers are important information, but there is hope in all of this. Andrew Horansky spoke with a woman who conquered COVID-19 and shares her story.
This weekend, the Easter Bunny greeted kids from a convertible in Rocky River. Just up the road near Huntington Beach, a T-Rex appeared to walk a child. Strange times indeed. While in Kirtland, Kelly McAfee, a married mother of 2, came home.
I just thought I'm gonna die. This is gonna kill me. I felt it, you know.
McAfee believes she caught COVID-19 from a coworker in mid-March, and at first she felt she could beat it alone.
I'm healthy. You know, I'm a healthy person. I get sick and I get better. I don't take antibiotics. You know, my body heals itself for almost everything I ever get.
Then, nearly 10 days in, things took a turn when she woke up struggling to breathe. She spent 6 days at UH's Richmond Medical Center in Cleveland, fighting to live, focused on one thing.
And I just thought, I can't leave my kids. And I told myself, I said, you are going to fight this, you're going to beat this, and you're going to live.
Here you are.
And here I am.
On the mend, unable to say enough about the doctors and nurses who saved her, and now sharing her story on Facebook so others can avoid what she endured.
And I just wanted to shout out to Kirtland, this is serious, this is real. I just almost died from it. Please do what you need to do.
By listening to the experts and listening to yourself, and to realize tough times don't last forever.
Well, certainly glad she's feeling better. Drew Horansky reporting. Well, a church in southwest Ohio is continuing in-person services despite the statewide stay-at-home order. The Solid Rock Church in Monroe, which is located between Dayton and Cincinnati, claims they've scaled back the services. It's not allowing hugs or shaking hands. Elderly people are advised to stay at home, and all youth activities have been canceled, but they refuse to cancel the services that bring groups of people together at the church. County health officials can't stop them because churches are exempt from the governor's order. The RTA is reporting 3 more staff members have tested positive for the coronavirus. 2 of the employees who are married are self-quarantining at home. The other employee is a transit police dispatcher. The RTA says crews are cleaning and disinfecting the areas where the employees worked. And another cruise ship with confirmed coronavirus cases is now docked in Miami. Some of the passengers were able to leave, but many others remain on board the ship, where 3 people have died. Kerry Sanders has more from Miami.
This morning, another tragedy at sea. 3 people now dead after taking a cruise on the Coral Princess, which departed from Chile on March 5th. After being rejected from several ports, the ship was able to dock in Miami on Saturday with 1,900 passengers on board, at least a dozen testing positive for coronavirus. 5 of the sickest passengers were quickly taken to area hospitals. But the family of 71-year-old Wilson Ma of San Francisco, who was on the cruise with his wife, say they needed to take drastic action to get him the help he needed.
Family had to call 911 from out of state to get help for their family member. And they waited for over 4 hours for an ambulance, and he died two hours later at the hospital.
Princess Cruises telling NBC News in part, all of us at Princess Cruises are deeply saddened to learn of the passing of Mr. Ma. We offer our sincere condolences to his family and those impacted by this loss. According to the company, passengers still remain on board due to new guidance from the CDC, which among other restrictions requires passengers with respiratory symptoms or who are still recovering to remain on board until medically cleared by the ship's doctors. The CDC also recommends that disembarking cruise passengers not travel on commercial flights or share transportation with non-cruise guests. Last Thursday, 2 Holland American ships carrying 1,200 passengers, 4 dead and dozens sick, docked in Fort Lauderdale. Now, once again, new trouble at sea, returning to an uncertain future back on land. The U.S. Coast Guard says there are 114 cruise ships either in U.S. ports or just off the coast of the United States with 93,000 crew members, an undetermined number who are being treated on board for coronavirus. Kerry Sanders, NBC News, Miami.
Well, we now know the next date for food distribution from the Cleveland Food Bank. It will happen this Thursday. Once again, it will happen in the Muni lot. And don't forget, you need to bring an ID and an empty trunk to receive food. And this time, the food bank is doing things a little differently. So listen up. You need to call their help center. That number is 216-738-2067. You need to call at least a day before you arrive to streamline the process.
One of the other reasons to call the help center is that if you live in another county, or if you live on the west side of Cleveland or the south side of Cleveland, or Cuyahoga County, we may be able to connect you with an agency that's right in your neighborhood. Because the fact is, there are a lot of agencies that are still open, and we want to make it as convenient for people as possible. The other thing we can do in our help center is help folks apply for SNAP. And so if you've lost your job or you're struggling to put food on the table, we may be able to connect you to that vital resource, which will give you some money to go to the grocery store and buy the food that you need.
And if you still want to help the food bank, the best way to do that is donate on their website.
We are buying a lot of food right now. We're buying food for those emergency boxes, a 7-day supply. We're also buying food for children in the Backpack for Kids program. And we're distributing more backpacks than we have in a very long time to kids who are out of school. And so financial contributions allow us to purchase the food that we need.
We'll let you know an exact time on the food drive when we get it. Until then, remember, you need to call ahead, and that help center number is 216-738-2067. Jay?
Well, Monica, it's a Northeast Ohio favorite, but an Easter celebration in Euclid is making some changes because of the coronavirus. We're talking about Jelly Beanville, which is now a drive-by only display. The mayor of Jelly Beanville says the show must go on this year, but in a safe way. If you want to see it yourself, it's on the 25,000 block of Zeeman Avenue. We're told everyone is still having a good time despite the changes. Our mission here at 3 News is to keep you up to date with the very latest facts on the coronavirus. And as you know, these facts and headlines change often. To get a direct link directly to your phone, just text the word facts to 216-344-3300. That's a text only, not a phone call. 3 News Connect is coming right back.
Get superior quality, energy efficient windows built to last with Stanek Windows.
Well, this one has a lot of you talking. A tiger at the Bronx Zoo in New York is tested positive for COVID-19. The tiger was exposed by an asymptomatic zoo worker. The zoo also says 6 other large cats, including 3 African lions and 3 tigers, have also shown symptoms, including that dry cough we keep telling you about. All the cats, though, are expected to recover. You know, a little over 7% of people living in Cuyahoga County are foreign born, and the outbreak, coronavirus, is highlighting the need for translation services for this population. So Danielle Wiggins now has a local nonprofit who is determined to make sure everyone is in the know.
While we're all quarantined at home, we depend on our TVs and our devices to get important COVID-19 updates. But what if you can't understand the information because English isn't your native language? Well, Global Cleveland is here to help. Crispin Camuchichi is the pastor of Shekinah Apostolic Ministries International on Cleveland's west side. This is video from one of his services several months ago.
Now you'd be asking, where should I get my help from?
When he preaches, a translator is typically by his side.
Most of my community members are not really good in English. Most of them, they don't know English.
So when the COVID-19 crisis hit Northeast Ohio, Camuchichi started volunteering with Global Cleveland. He translates state and local public health information so his Congolese community will stay informed.
If it is in English, we translate it in Swahili, in French.
President of Global Cleveland, Joe Simperman, says the nonprofit has recruited 40 volunteer translators covering 32 languages.
People who are from the international community feel that someone is paying attention to them.
They're trying to help people who may already feel like outsiders because of a language barrier.
If we can help them feel as connected as we all want to be, then I think it's one more step further in terms of getting through this incredible pandemic.
Russian-born Broadview Heights resident Natalia Streletsky is helping the Russian community get through COVID-19 by translating social media posts.
I'm just glad that I have a chance to make a difference for someone, even if it's just one person.
We have to take care of each other. And if people who are watching this want to help us in that charge, all aboard. The ship is leaving.
Danielle Wiggins, 3 News.
Well, this is such important information. Global Cleveland is also working to translate the economic information that's coming out right now. And the nonprofit is looking for more translators. So if you'd like to help or volunteer, just log on to WKYC.com for more information. 3 News Connects will be back after this.
Hello, I'm Mike.
Welcome back to 3 News Connect. This is an interesting story. Google Maps has rolled out an update to highlight local restaurants with delivery and takeout options, and this is exactly what so many of you have been looking for. The way you do it, go to Google Maps. You'll find a takeout button and a delivery button in the upper left. Hit the one you want, and all of the options in your area will pop up on the screen. I tried it this morning. It works great. I hope you find it as helpful as I did. It's also a great way to help support local businesses during the coronavirus outbreak. Well, with more people working from home, there are a lot of complaints of sore back, neck, and shoulders, and I know exactly what they're talking about. But there are some easy things you can do to make sure you get comfortable and feel better. We talked to a physical therapist from MetroHealth about some of the things that you can do at home that are making a difference, especially if you're using a laptop.
If you have a laptop, it's important to make sure that your line of sight is also right at the top of the screen is where your eyes should be placed. What's tricky here is that most of us are looking down when we do this, so it's important to prop up the computer base so that your hands are elevated a little bit and you can see the screen at the appropriate height.
One thing she actually encourages is to make sure you're comfortable while you're working. Katie says it's okay to go ahead and work from your recliner if you're comfortable there, or even your couch.
If you have a recliner or you have a sofa where you can put your feet up and prop your back, what you can do is bend your knees up and put the laptop on your lap, but then adjust the monitor so it's higher up and at eye level.
Katie also says when you're working, your chin should be tucked slightly, your shoulders back and relaxed. The trick is to not let your chin and shoulders fall forward. That will lead to pain.
Those are great tips, Jay. Boy, I miss my stand-up desk at work. All right, most of us weren't prepared to turn parts of our homes into working spaces, so our Lindsay Buckingham tapped into a professional organizer to help with her at-home office.
Good morning, everybody. So at this point, a lot of us are working from home. And if you're like me, you've turned a common space in your house into your at-home office. So I set out to find a few tips that make working from home and your personal space a little bit more enjoyable.
Check it out. This is my new home office, aka my dining room, and it needs some help. So I reached out to Christina Heidick of Streamline Living for some tips on making this shared space more functional.
So what are some of the things people can do to establish a really good work area for themselves?
You have to figure out where you're best going to be able to work. Like, there are no set rules. I think you need to be comfortable, because if you're not comfortable, then you're not going to be able to be productive and get work done.
We're like put in a position where we have to sort of find a way to love our homes because we're all going to be here for a while.
And it's usually people who don't have an organized space are looking for excuses to kind of escape from their homes, and there's no escape.
Christina suggested starting with a clean slate, clearing off surfaces, removing clutter, and tidying up power cords.
And you could also put things on the walls, maybe like a magnet board or a dry erase.
And don't forget comfort items like a soft chair, a candle or diffuser, and something to drink. Time to get to work. Well, I think I did pretty well. Let's see what Christina thinks.
So how did I do?
I like that you added in a couple touches. I really like that you cleaned off the top of the storage unit that's across from the table, and I think that looks a lot more aesthetically pleasing. I like that you added the checklist so that you can stay on track with your tasks, since you said you are a visual person. Right, right, and I think that's good.
Honestly, I feel better already working in a clean space. The candle smells good. I've got a fresh cup of water, like you told me to.
It doesn't take a lot, and that's I guess that's like the biggest thing people need to take into consideration. It doesn't take a lot to make a big impact in your space.
Well, here it is, my new and improved at-home workspace. And here's the thing, I didn't even go to the store. I had everything I needed right at home. A clear space, something fresh to drink, a comfy chair, and a nice smelling candle. Very easy, guys, but listen, we're all doing our best, so just don't worry about anything. Just do your best. We'll be back with more tips throughout the week. Have a good day, everybody.
I want to know how Lindsay is keeping her kids out of the dining room as I'm trying to keep Fergus out of my space as well. Hey, one educator is keeping the classroom spirit alive, even though the students are being schooled at home from the coronavirus outbreak. So the head of Western Reserve Academy in Hudson, get this, made nearly 400 student fathead cardboard cutouts, then put them in the students' assigned seats. He positioned each of them in the correct seat, and during a video conference last week, the students got a surprise glimpse of themselves taking class together, even though they were all online. We want to see your heroes. Send us a photo and a brief description of your nominee. All you got to do is text it to 216-344-3300. We want to share your photos on the air, so just text us a picture, 216-344-3300. Believe us, in this time, we all need to be connected. We want to see more of those pictures to keep our spirits up. 3 News Connects will be right back after this.
Welcome back to 3 News Connect. Before we get ready to go here, there are 3 coronavirus headlines that we need to tell you about. We'll start with stocks on the rise, sharply in fact, on signs of progress in fighting the battling virus. That's a bit of good news. NBA players taking part in a video game tournament with proceeds going to coronavirus relief efforts. And we have a video on how to make your own face mask. A lot of folks are doing this now after the CDC changed its suggestions. You don't even need a sewing machine in this one. We'll tell you all about it on WKYC.com. You can also see the video on our Channel 3 app. Also, in other news, Apple CEO Tim Cook says the company has donated 20 million face masks sourced from its supply chain to governments, hospitals, and other groups that need them. Cook also says Apple is producing protective face shields for medical workers and aims to make 1 million of these per week. Monica, incredible.
Yeah, we love stories like that, Jay. Here's another one for you. Actor Rob Lowe is sending some positive words to his former home of Ohio. Governor DeWine posted the video message to Twitter on Sunday, and he's giving everyone some good reminders to start the week. Take a look.
I just want to buttress what your great governor is telling you all. By the way, he's doing a great job with Ohio. It's time for us to stay in place, get to know our families, Even though you may feel healthy, you're doing almost as much of a service to your community as the brave men and women first responders by just staying put. My love to you, my family's prayers to you. I love my Buckeye family so much. Stay safe and stay home. God bless.
Great advice, Rob. That video viewed more than 103,000 times already, and I'm betting it's going to get quite a few more. The governor will hold his press briefing, of course, today at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And Jay, I don't know about you, but I can't get enough of these videos from celebrities. Some of them are just downright hilarious, but they're all sending us the same message: stay at home, follow what we're being told, because in Ohio, at least, we know it's working. We can tell that the numbers are going, at least in Ohio, what we're doing is working. Do you see the same thing?
Yeah, I do. I see the same thing, and it is good to see that this message is being spread far and wide. It is obviously the way we're going to help flatten the curve, as they say. Stay home. I like what Rob said. Stay safe and stay at home. Pretty good advice.
Thank you all so much for joining us. We'll be back tomorrow for 3 News Connects.
See you at 5 o'clock.